Hello, this is Peggy Cannell with Cannell Research Consulting, and this video will give information on how to format a Word document for different page numbers, placement, and formats. And we will talk about that using section breaks, next page, using the header footer tab, and the different first page in the header footer tab. You'll also see in front of you the written instructions, and you can get these instructions by emailing me or going to my website at cannellresearchconsulting.com. So the first thing you want to know is what your institution requires for page numbers. You can find that in your institution's handbook or contacting your department chair. We'll also need to be sure you set the header and the footer margins, and sometimes we forget that. And you need to make sure you have the font size selected for the entire document, which includes the page numbers. So I'm going to quickly show you that. And here you see now on the screen is a document that I've already formatted. It's a sample kind of mock-up document for a dissertation. And you'll notice that the first page, the title page, is numbered, but there's no page number. The second page, which is abstract, is numbered, counted, and the page numbers on there, and so forth as you go through. So so then when you start the chapters, you need to have a different formatting for your page numbers. So how do you do that without pulling your hair out and spending way too much time on formatting and not paying attention to your content? I hope this short video will show you. So I'm going to now show you the same document, but unedited, unformatted. So what you always want to do before you ever start doing anything with your page numbers is to make sure the format is set right. So in this top ribbon, go to Layout. Do Margins, Custom Margins. Go to the Layout page on the margins, and right here is where you set the margins for your header and footer. I have mine set at 0.5. You can change those to whatever your institution requires. Say set as default for the entire document. And I usually say just set it for this change and say OK. So now that is done. The next you want to do is to ensure that your document page numbers are the right font and size. And quite often we forget this. So in the top ribbon, go to Home. In the font, right here it shows the font type and size for the document. But you also need to go to the font drop-down arrow. And here you need to select Times New Roman, Regular, 12, set as default. And again, I'll ask you, I usually choose this document only. And now you're ready. So what you want to do is to divide the document into sections, next page sections. And to do that, we need to first make sure that we have our paragraph symbol on. So in the Home tab, in this paragraph block, select the paragraph symbol. And what that does for you is set it up so you can see that where the breaks are and the returns are. So what I normally do is set a new section for every preliminary page or section before the chapters, and set a new section for each chapter for the references and so forth. So go to the very end of the title page, place your cursor there, go to your ribbon at the top, Layout, choose Breaks in the page setup, select the drop-down arrow, and select Section Breaks Next Page. This is critical that you do this in this order. There's also a section breaks called Continuous, but you don't need this for page numbers. Next page, I set it, and you see it has section break. Sometimes an extra line is inserted, so delete that. Go to the end of the next section, which is my abstract. Place my cursor there. Go to Layout. Go to Breaks, Section Break, Next Page. Get rid of any extra lines. Go to the bottom of that section. Layout, Breaks, Section Breaks, Next Page. Delete any extra spaces. Go to that line. You see I already have a section break installed here because this is where chapter 1 started. So if you don't have that installed or inputted, you need to now do that. Okay, so now we've done the preliminary work, we need to get started. For this institution, the title page is counted but not numbered, so no numbers here. But the next section, which is the abstract for this institution, you want to insert a Roman numeral in the very bottom of the page, centered. So I go down here to the bottom of this first page, I double click in the header footer section. Sometimes you have to do it 1 or 2 times. And then up pops the ribbon with the header footer. You must make all your page formatting and placement in this section. So here I have it here. Before I can do anything, if you skip this step or put it in the wrong process, your page numbering will not be correct. You need to deselect Link to Previous. Now that it's not highlighted. And make sure it's not highlighted. Sometimes it takes a couple of clicks to make it right if you don't click in just the right space. Okay. Next, you go to, in the header footer tab, page number, do the drop-down menu, go to bottom of page, choose the one you want, which I want plain number 2 for the plain in the center. It's there. It's not the type I want, so I'm going to highlight it. Go back to page number, drop down, arrow, format page number, and I'm going to select the Roman numerals. And then I'm going to select continue from previous section because I want the title page to be counted but not a number, and this should be Roman numeral 2. Click OK. And there you see that's correct. And you see here that the introduction page, the title page has no page number on it. Next, go to your third page, the approval page. Double click down here in the header footer. It's highlighted. Before you do anything, deselect Link to Previous. Then highlight this. Go to page number. Go to, it's in the right place, so simply go straight to format. We want it to be Roman numerals. And we want to continue from the last section. So this should now be Roman numeral 3. And so we'll say OK. And you see it is. Then you go to the dedication page, which is section 4. Go to the bottom. Again, highlight this. Deselect Link to Previous. Now re-highlight, sorry. Go to page number. And we have it in the right placement, we just need the right format. So again, we need to select Roman numerals. We want it to continue, so it'll be Roman numeral 4. And select OK, and it's there. Now, we have our chapters. And for this institution, they want the chapter to be numbers be placed on the right-hand margin. At the top for every page, except the first page of the chapter. So I will show you how to do that. So first, let's go down. This is a section break. Go down here, and you see that the page numbers are here. So I don't want this. So I highlight this or put my cursor there. Deselect link to previous. So now I'm in good shape. So you now highlight that. Go to page number and say remove page numbers. Aha, it's gone. Like magic, but not from the previous page numbers. Now, since we want the pages numbers to be at the top header, click on the top header, deselect link to previous, go to page number, select top of page, go to the plain number 3 so it's in the right margin, highlight it, go to page number again, go to format page numbers, and we want it to be Arabic numbers and start at 1, click OK. So now we have page numbers leaving the Roman numerals for the preliminary pages, starting with Arabic on this. You see all the others have the Arabic numbers at the top. However, we want this first page of the chapter to have the page number not at the top, but at the bottom. So all you have to do is stay in the header footer tab, look up here and have this highlighted, select different first page. We do that, that page number disappears. You notice it's still here for number 2. Since we want it at the bottom, click at the bottom, footer, click link to previous to deselect it. Go to page number, go to bottom of page, and we want to select plain number 3 this time because we want it to be plain at the right margin. And now let's highlight it just to double check. Go back to page number and look at the format, make sure it's right, and it is, and say OK. Now let's double click, and you see we have the page numbers in the right spaces. So this is just a quick video to show you how to put different formats, number formats, and placement of page numbers in the same document. If you like this video and it's useful to you, please hit like. I'd appreciate it. If you would like a copy of the instructions, be sure and you can email me at peggyhcannell@gmail.com or go to my website at Cannell Research Consulting.